Representing the day, baby. Representing the day. You know what it is. You know what's coming down on Sunday. You already know.
Nah.
Oh, they're
Nah, nah. Don't nah.
Side was strong.
I know because he kind of know. That's why. You know what's going down.
Yeah, I know what always go down when that play.
Yeah, probably guaranteeing us a win.
That ain't been happening. It's public though.
Your man always choking.
So we on.
Oh yeah, we on. Go ahead and do your thing and let it perk. Let it percolate.
Yeah, let it build a little bit. See if I can get. Oh, let me get my.
So, like I said, you got to make the changes on your Facebook, because you got to make it go public for everybody to see it. Other than that, keep it private.
Yes, it's already on public.
All right. Yeah, I'm ready to build.
Okay. About 2 seconds. Putting it back out there.
My bucky buck. Hi.
It's okay.
Summer.
What about you outside? Hunger?
No. I need a lot longer for clothes.
Give me back all of that love.
Yeah.
Can you take what's your brother doing, please?
I got you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Hey, Jerome.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, she speaks.
She has always
Yeah, we live. I'm surprised you keep. Yeah, I know. Battle. What's going on? Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good, bro? What's good? What's good? It's been a minute.
Nah, not too much. Not too much.
You know, it's rivalry week for us, man. It's just, I know we partner, but at the same time, I mean, I'm ready for you Sunday, buddy. I'm gonna be there too.
Ready?
I'm ready for them Cowboys. I'm ready for them Cowboys.
Say no more.
Say less.
You know, it's funny as you say. You know, I know if in Philly y'all have Cowboy Week. You know, where y'all prepare for the Cowboys. I get that, but you know, on the opposite side, we don't have a Philly Week. You know, everybody the same to us, so y'all gonna get it like everybody else get it.
Okay, if you say so. Yeah, give it to us like we gave everybody else. All right, that's all right. Okay, come up that half stepping. I mean, we was caught slipping. You know, caught slipping in Washington.
Washington?
Oh, see, here you go. Here you go.
I'm just saying.
Here you go. Here you go.
Washington?
Doesn't that count the losses that y'all got and who y'all lost to?
Now keep your jersey on now.
I'm keeping my jersey on.
We'll talk about us head to head. Keep your jersey on. Don't jersey swap. But bro, what's good with you? It's been a minute since we've been on.
Yeah, man. I've been, a lot of traveling. A lot of traveling.
Out of travel.
It's been the first weekend that I actually been home. And it's been
Right.
over a good month. And it's been, had to go to Italy for work. It was Ricky Ross. Got his jersey on. What jersey you got on though, Mr. Ross? Better be
Mr.
that
Ross,
Kelly
he's a
Green.
Cowboy fan.
No, he is not no Cowboy
Yes,
fan.
sir.
Get that thing ripped off his back. But no, but I had to do some because a lot of times when you want to be alone, I didn't really want to be alone, but when you're alone, you get a time to really reflect on a lot of things and think about a lot of things. And sometimes you have to recenter yourself when it comes to stuff like that. So it's been a lot. But yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to get it in. I'm ready to build, especially if I'm with you. Building is nothing. Plus, you just had your anniversary. You know, I was at that lovely, beautiful wedding that you had.
Right, right.
So you in LA, with them sorry ass Lakers, but I mean, it is what it is. Dude, how you keep rooting for just bandwagon squads, man?
Whoa, bro. I've been with them since childhood.
Man, everybody was a Lakers fan because nobody wanted to be a Boston fan. But I got you. I got you.
They knew
So
LA didn't cheat.
so yeah. So other than that, though, yeah. I mean, we've been doing some traveling. We've been doing a lot of stuff, but we here. And I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it's some stuff that I've been. Sometimes I have to sit back and I watch and I see some things. And one thing that I have realized and come to a question that I ask is, what is going on within the black culture, or what is the black culture now? And the reason why I say that is
Right.
traditionally we stick together. I mean, if you go by our great grandparents, or you can say we can go even from the early 20s, 1920s, not
Okay.
2020s. So say within the last 100 years, most people will say we evolving to be something, but what are we evolving is, and did we lose our culture to be a part of somebody else's culture, or we'll let that culture dominate our culture? To the fact is, our culture is no more. And no, I mean, I know I'm saying black because of the people that's here. Mostly I'm saying indigenous Americans. To the fact is, what is being black? Or what is being black now is kind of like more of it's nothing. Which I mean, being black really, in a sense, depends on your mindset. Really, supposed to mean nothing, but being a person of indigenous color or melanated color, that we lost our identity of who we are. Like it's the holidays, and families don't even come together unless it's a funeral. Families don't get together. There is, our family has been decimated to the fact is, you know, the last person that everybody depended on was Big Mama, and now it's no more Big Mamas. It's no more. It's no more who somebody who say family is family and it sticks together no matter what. We got nobody that you can go to with answers or go to get the answers. The elders are not there. Nobody respects the elders. The young generation looks at the elders as, oh, you're a bunch of old people. So it's no respect, but nobody's living. Everybody is just wilding out. Everybody just, everybody's just, there's no love. And it's like the community, the culture, it needs a big hug because we let everybody dictate who we are. Am I saying it right? Yeah. So trying to get back to your roots, when you start finding out yourself, when you start understanding yourself, you kind of look at things differently. That's becoming weird, or you get looked at as weird, but you're not weird. You're just finding yourself. So I don't know. I mean, I know me and you had a conversation about this a couple of days ago. Let's dig into it because I know I'm saying a lot, but I want to get into it because the culture,
All
you
right.
know, I, it's we're
First,
not a loving culture no more. But go
right.
ahead.
First of all, let me say hello to our Facebook family, our YouTube family. Please like, share, um, put the sub, get your notifications for when we're on. It's been a while, like I said, because we've been in travel for the past month. But as always, never believe anything that we tell you. Always do your own research. Come back. Let's discuss. Let's move forward. Um, B, culture. Culture is a strong thing, man. We'll get deep into it. We'll unpack. 'Cause that's a lot to unpack. You know, it's a lot to unpack just the word black. Um, but culture is something that's seriously in need of looking at. We need to inspect what culture is for our people because culture dictates the mindset. You mentioned the 20s when there was a culture of the proper man in our community. You always seen a man with a suit on, always seen him with a hat on, always was proper with the ladies. That was a cultural thing for us. Um, so from then to now, in that 100-year period that you spoke of, there has been an attack, a psychological attack on our people and on our culture. But since you brought it to me when you were passionate, I'm gonna let you open it up, and we'll go from there. Wherever you want to start, that's where we'll start. We'll go forward.
All right, okay. Let's go to the definition of culture. The art of others manifestation of humans' intelligence achievements regarding collectively the custom of arts, social institutions, achievements of a particular nation, people, or other social groups. So now I'm looking at it as what are we? And the reason why I say that is we used to stand for something, and now we don't even stand on our ancestors' shoulders no more. We tend to like, we're gonna do our own thing, and not knowing that doing our own thing is breaking away from what has been the foundation that has been laid onto us. I feel like a hurricane has came through and knocked our families out of whack. Our culture is out of whack. Everybody thinking it's all about
And it
the life.
has.
Mhm. Was you talking to me?
Well, it's an interesting thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay. So here's the interesting thing. You talk about culture, right? What it was, what we lost, what it used to be. Um, there is still culture, but the problem is there's a subculture that operates inside of the culture. Now, this subculture, people think is the real culture. And that's what's got us turned on our head. We look at the subculture, something that's small and innate, but it's the thing, it's the shiny thing, it's what keeps our attention. And that's um, the thing that we project as what our culture is now today. Um, when you talk about being driven by, let's say, rap music, um, or being driven by the culture of materialism, these are subcultures or a subculture that has been built inside of us to self-destruct us. You see, because we look at that subculture and think that's what we want to aspire to be. See, and it's funny because when you were you led with what we're missing is love, right? So love in the community. Love in the community was a culture. It was a cultural thing to take care of the village, right? But the
Mhm.
subculture is love thyself and love thyself only. So this subculture is what's driving our whole community. You and if it was the full culture, then people wouldn't feel like, damn, there's something missing. Man, it's something we ain't doing right. Man, because if that was the deciding factor for who we were, we wouldn't feel at unease. But because we feel unease, it's because it's this little subculture that's being promoted by the media. It's a subculture that's being pushed by everything that you see. And that's what people are. It's like you've been flipped on your head. And the thing that was a little thing that was just an annoyance is now what's driving our community.
Mhm.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's driven more out of fear than anything. Because we fear everything. We fear ourselves. We fear the police. We fear the government. I mean,
Yeah, I definitely think we fear the government. But you
and
know what?
mhm,
Just because I want to build on what you're talking about is
mhm,
because I want you to expound a little bit more on it because I don't feel that we fear ourselves.
one another,
Okay, I see that.
or you're. We want to be a part of something. And the reason why I say that is because I mean I go home. I'm from Gaffney, South Carolina, small ass city, but now I get in the city and everybody's like, "Yo, the Bloods and Crips are here for what?" What
Right,
people want to be a part of something that's
right,
not helping or building. That's why I was like, there's no love. Because if you love yourself, you respect yourself. And when you respect yourself, you respect others around you. No, it's kind of like we need to get back into respecting the nature, respecting the universe, respecting the essence of just love and respect. Get to the books of my yacht. I mean, if you want to, we could even say understanding the Ten Commandments, which is the book of my yacht. But the understanding for, the say layman terms is understanding it's a respect aspect that I got your back, you got my back. Because back then they stuck together and they enjoyed life. We see the Harlem Renaissance and what the joy of that brings. We see what was, how we hearing about how important you know what was going on in Black Wall Street or in North Carolina. Well, North Carolina, what's that? Wilmington, North Carolina. We hearing our community was striving when you thinking that we're not supposed to be striving because we stuck together when we respect one another. We our culture is the only culture that don't stick together. I see the Asian culture stick together. You see what's going on in overseas when you have the Muslim countries stick together, cultures stick together. You see um, the Jewish culture stick together. You see these huge cousins, and we're the biggest culture in the world. But everybody looks at it as you're the most dangerous culture in the world.
Well, okay, when you say we're the biggest culture in the world,
Because I
right?
mean, you gotta understand, melanated people is all over the world.
So, well, what I'm saying, so you're saying because you're including everybody that's around the world that's melanated under one culture,
Yeah,
as
I can say
though
that.
they,
Yeah. Wait a minute. Wait
as
a minute.
though they,
I got you. I
okay,
got what you're saying because I expanded. Boom. All right. Okay. Everybody watches the black culture. Everybody everybody watches what we do
the
here in
American, the
the
American black.
American culture. The American blacks is the most watched. We're like reality TV for the world. Everybody watches our footstep because of what we've been through, and we still strive. But at the same time, it's either we strive because we want money to seem bigger than what we are, or we fake the funk, or the drug community is so far out of hand that it just don't even make sense because we rather kill a community versus build a community because we so greedy for money or power or respect, but not respect in the way of, hey, I respect you as a human, more of respect me because this is who I am. So I just happen to look at things and where's the love? Or where do we lose that love? Because kids don't love their parents as we loved our parents. Kids don't love their grandmas or respect their grandmas or their elders like they used to. They rather take advantage of them, take what they have. And that's why I say I feel like the black community needs a hug because we keep being in survival mode when we don't have to be in survival mode. You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree with you. I agree with you.
Am I going
So
too deep? Because this is kind of like, or am I
no, no,
like,
no, no, no,
oh,
no, no.
okay,
Not, I don't think you're going too deep. Like I said, when it starts to go deep, uh, that's why I'll stop you and let you explain your point a little better.
I
Um,
got you.
for expounding upon it more. Um, but now I think I need to back up with you said. First of all, everybody out there that's watching, send a hug to Brother B.
I didn't say I need a hug.
No, I'm saying it's the community giving you a hug. So everybody put hugs in the chat. But as we all do need that. But you was talking about it's interesting you said because it keeps coming back to love, right? We
Mhm.
don't love each other like we used to, right? Love between two people. You have that love because you understand the value of the person that you're dealing with, right?
Facts.
I think value has been lost in our community. It's like if you were talking about gangs earlier,
Mhm.
gangs is a unity thing, right?
True.
These young people don't see a future going forward, but they can see this gang coming together. They can see this unit, this family moving as one, right?
Yeah.
So that's missing in our community is the value of family, you
Mm,
know, because the more time you put with people, the more value you build with them, right? So
right.
families are not even together as much. You understand what I'm saying? It's like
Mhm.
families, the time has been sped up for us. Most time we're working, most time we're traveling, most time we're gone. and we don't build quality time with each other. And that quality time is where you get the value. Like when we can sit with older people in our family, we can learn history, we can learn value, we can get mentorship. Um, there's a lot of things that we don't get with each other because we don't have the time or we don't take the time to spend with family to build this value. Because when you can value the streets more than you can value family, something is wrong. And so I think mentorship helps you to learn how to love yourself. You said earlier, and I'm gonna go on a point. You might not be in the point you're going, but I'm gonna use the words that you said.
Okay.
You said that you know, we fear ourselves, right? And
Mhm.
see, and the reason why I said that is that I didn't agree with that totally was because you have to be self-aware to fear yourself. And
When I
I
say
think no, I know what you was meaning, but I just want to expound on a point. Um,
no, well, no, no. I mean, I got what
we,
you
we
so that no. Because when I mean we fear ourselves is mental health is so crazy these days that not saying it's an excuse. Everybody have their mental situations, but nobody can literally look in the mirror and look. It's not. I mean, a lot of people can't look in the mirror and accept what they see in the mirror
right,
as a person of. So that's why I say you fear yourself. So when you fear yourself, you try to make everybody love that person that's not you. So
right. That false image.
the person that you are, that I see you as, is you. You want me to love you for somebody else that's not you. So that's when I mean when it comes to fear, because people can't love themselves. And once you don't love yourself, then you don't love nothing else around you. I can say I got love for you,
Right.
but nobody's loving no more. Like I said, it was. But go ahead, my bad. Go back to what you were saying.
No. And, when I was talking about being self-aware, right? I said I
Mhm.
don't think as a community we're not self-aware from the standpoint of what we were, um, what we used to do, as opposed to what we do now and where we're going forward. Because
Mhm.
how do we get to forward when we don't know how to remember the times when we maintained being, like you said, Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Black Wall Street in Greensboro, North Carolina, uh, uh, Black civilization in Wilmington, Boston, New York, Atlanta,
Chicago.
Chicago, LA, um, all through Texas,
Mhm.
Mexico, Central America, South America. We don't understand what we used to be as far as um, a collective, and not all people saw the thing. We was not a monolithic society. You know, all black people was not the same. You know, we had different languages like we still do today. Um, we had different ways of belief, just like we do today. But the one thing that was standard among all was village was first.
Mm.
And you know, I think that and that's how we became so strong around the world.
True. I
You know,
agree.
is because we put village first.
Hmm.
Uh, and like I said, everything has been flipped. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's man, this is old. I hate when they say African proverb, but I'm gonna
Uh-oh.
say an old indigenous melanated proverb.
Okay.
If the village doesn't allow the child to feel the warmth of the people, then that child will burn down the village just to feel some warmth.
Ooh.
And that's the point that we're at. It's like we're self-destroying each other just to get some attention, just to get some likes, just to get some somebody to say, hey, you're this or you're that. You know, we're destroying ourselves. We're burning down our village just to get that warmth and that affection and that attention back from others.
From
Not
a stranger.
understanding if we were to reverse that and the village would have been giving love to these children, giving this love to our young people, you know, we wouldn't have so much self-destruction.
And I think that's what the thing is that's why I said it's no more big mamas in the house. It's no more big mamas to people to look up to. Because Big Mama will keep you straight, you know. But that's why I keep saying is the culture. Yes, the culture is evolving. It's taking a different direction. Do I like that direction it's going? Hell no. Because we're going everywhere and nobody knows where we're going. We got everybody wants to be a chief, but nobody wants to be an Indian. Nobody wants to. Me and you can have a conversation, and we're not even in the same city. I mean, we can get on the phone and have a mad conversation, respectful. We build it. Brothers can't really do that. Some brothers can, but we think on two different levels. If you're not on the same level, it's kind of like it's hard to have a conversation. I mean, what me and you can have a conversation with, most people are like, yo, y'all too deep.
Right.
And we'd be like, this ain't deep. It's just we just think what we think, you know, we put thought or we put thought into conversation. I just don't want to have a conversation that a bunch of BS is not gonna take me nowhere. I done been that did that. We not building. Me sitting here talking
Right.
about somebody else and tearing them down, it's not
Right.
getting me nowhere. It's I mean, you know, me and you sitting here and have a podcast. Who's the bigger man on the podcast? You see
It's
what I'm
us,
saying?
baby.
But I mean,
Yeah.
it's always somebody who's like, well, you lead and you got to follow. It's like there's not even a Batman and Robin dynamic with us. It's not a I ain't gonna say it. It's
Right.
can it say Jordan Pippen? No, I can't say Jordan Pippen. It's kind of more of a trying to find out
It's
who
like a
you can
Kobe
say.
Shaq. It's like Kobe Shaq. They were both equal. They were both
Yeah.
dominant at what they done.
So it's a respect nomenclature that we have.
Right.
It's a respect level that I got love for you because of the person that you are and the person that you carry. I see you building. I see what you were and where you at now. And it's nothing
Right.
but, you know, mad props and mad respect. I respect you that I can come to you for advice because I don't have a father no more. My dad was that guy. You know how my dad was. You talk to my dad. You know,
Yeah.
but it's more of we don't have big brothers in the community no more.
Right.
And that's where I feel like
You know why?
go ahead.
Because the big brothers, the older guys are trying to blend in with the younger generation because, like I said, it's the subculture that's driving the community. So you got older guys wanting to dress young, wanting to talk young, wanting to, you know, still be. There's nothing wrong with being out and, you know, communicating with people. But I'm saying you just can't be back in the streets, if you will. You know what I'm saying? It's so it's our whole how we view what a man should be or what a man should be doing, what a woman should be doing. It's these subcultures are driving what culturally we're supposed to be doing.
Mm. It's kind of like a pup. It's like we're part of a video game. It's like we're in a Sims video game, and somebody
Yeah,
is just
right,
like, you
right,
know
right.
what? Let me see what I can make. Y'all want to see something crazy? Watch me do this, and watch you see how we react or see what we go through. Because right now, like for instance, we can even say music. I was is it's kind of like it's hip hop. You know, we going 50 years of hip hop. Nobody respects the elders of the hip hop. Nobody respects the 80s. Nobody respects the 90s. Everybody in 2000 in the 2020s think they better rappers than, guys that we listen to. But the music
Right.
that we listen to as we growing up was about having fun. We can have a house party and nothing getting
I
crazy
all
in
of
there.
it. But
You know what I'm saying? Or it's about the
I think I
dance.
think I think what's different with right. I think what's different with rap music, hip hop, is that early on there were different genres
uh
inside of hip hop.
But it was
You know,
respect.
you could get educational hip hop, you could get street, you could get gangster, you could get dance. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it was a little bit of
But
everything.
now, it's all cookie cutter. Yeah, it was a different genre of music. You could listen to rap music and the artist, you could see the differences in the artist. You know what I'm saying? From style to cadence to just time and everything. But now everybody's kind of on that same cadence, on that same beat. You know, and a lot of it's not even uh lyrical. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It's just a lot of catchphrases. And they hit you with the catchphrase over a beat. And that's all it is, really. But I see on YouTube, Jeremy says it's the ego is driven society now, and that's kind of like what I'm saying. The subculture is about me, and it's about your super ego driving everything. What I can do, what I've achieved. You know, and it's like I can't help you, dude. You get yours, I get mine. Um,
I can throw this
that
at you.
oh man,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, because this is where I can
No, throw it
say
at me.
no, because if I go home knowing that my daughter, I have a 30-year-old daughter, beautiful 30-year-old daughter,
Right, right.
and I had came home for my class reunion, my 30-year class reunion. While we're in the same club, it doesn't make me feel comfortable. That's where when I say is 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 no place. I mean, I have fun. I enjoy being around my children. I love being around my children. But if I'm hanging out with my fellas, I don't want to be hanging out, you know, at the same spot or the same
Right.
hole, hole, hole in the wall club. Because, you know, I'm not comfortable.
No, 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 no. What you just said is encapsulates, puts everything in a nutshell because there's no levels to it. Your daughter and you and probably somebody that's 18 years old was in the same club, but you're all listening to the same music that drives the culture. You're all dancing with the same dances that drive the culture. There's
No,
no
no,
levels to it. You
I
today
was uncomfortable.
with older
I was
people,
uncomfortable.
and I say older just because,
Hmm.
huh?
I was
What'd you say?
uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable.
Right, because you felt that you was on the same level as your daughter. That's what you felt like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What are you doing here? I'm here. You know, that's what I'm talking about. That's how the subculture drives you. It gives
Mm,
you this one way to look at things.
mm,
If you're going to be successful, this is the way you have to be successful. If you're going to dress, this is the way you have to dress. If you're
mhm.
going to talk, this is the way you have to speak. You know, and so everything becomes so monotone, and that our culture loses value because, like I said, like old rap music, you had KRS-One who was different than Ice Cube, but we could rock with both because we seen the variation
Mhm.
in the community,
Facts.
right? But we don't
Facts.
see variation now. Everybody is this. I I don't want to get cut off, so I ain't gonna go into that. But it's like today's subculture is pushing the whole community.
I get what you're saying. I see where you're at, and it's not healthy.
No, it's not. It's
It's
really
not
not.
healthy because it's kind of like the old heads took a step back and said, "All right, then I'm gonna let these young generation run the show," and they're not built for it. You know, that some people personally like, "All right, then I'll let you learn your lesson." It ain't time for that. Our younger generation is dying faster than we can even produce another generation. Or, but at the same time,
Well, we out there producing that.
no, I mean we produce
They
them,
out there producing. They might not be guiding them. They might not be
but
guiding them, but they producing them.
we producing. Yes, we producing, but we producing a bunch of kids that's not going to have no parents to raise
That's
them.
true. That's true.
So
So
go ahead,
while you're
go
right
ahead.
there, because you mentioned something earlier, and I was gonna circle back around to it, but
Circle back around that.
since you right there with the parent, since you back with the parent thing, the big mama. You mentioned, there's no more big mamas, uh, and that's why
No more
I
big
think,
mamas. Now, you know, it's a certain
yeah,
way
yeah,
when you say big
but
mamas because grandma and big mama ain't the same mama. But go ahead.
yeah, I got you. You talking about from a matriarch sense,
Yes,
that big mama that ran the family, right?
true facts.
So, and that's the thing in the 90s. That's when they started pushing that, the whole big mama thing. And I'm saying I don't want to come off misogynistic. That's not what I'm doing. I want to talk about it on a level psychology. Just
Facts.
having your mama as the leader in your family is not the correct way to raise a family.
That is true because that
You
means
have to
they
have,
took the protector out of the.
because
They took
nobody talked about Big Papa.
because
You understand
Big
what I'm saying?
Papa.
And then
Go
Papa
ahead.
was a Rolling Stone, according to the song. And see, that's a narrative that they fed you. Because think about it like this: why do you think they allowed Medea to be as big as it was? Because the media controls who's going to be big, who's not. If you don't think so, then you're delusional about how the Matrix works. So why would they push the Medea, a woman that's dressed like a man, so she has more manly characters than a
Mm,
woman should. Um,
mm.
and she's the most vocal, she's the linchpin, but yet she's the most out of control. She's the one that everybody looks to, but she ain't got the answers. So
You know what? You just hit
it's
me.
a
You got me.
whole
You got me. You
there's a
got me.
whole narrative. There's a whole narrative that's being played out because we look at it from the entertainment aspect, right? And we're all
Mhm.
entertained by it. But what we don't understand with entertainment is that it goes into your subconscious. And it's
Mhm.
not being filtered in your subconscious. So
Facts.
you're taking that mentality of this big mama, you're taking this loud, brash woman as who we are as a culture. Because think
Mm.
about it, and and I'll touch on this real simple and real quick. If if you ever seen a young man that argues, fuss, seems like he's out of control with his emotions,
Mhm.
99% of the time he was raised by his mother. If you look at statistics of men that are in prison, 89% of them was raised by single mothers. It is nothing against single mothers. It's just that these are the facts. This is the balance of psychology. You
Mhm.
have to have a balanced psychology in the family dynamic. That's all I'm saying. And that if we step back and look at entertainment and how things are driven, look at what it says about family, man.
Dude, you just damn. So you once you take the protector out the home, you watch the family crumble. It might have took years. It might have took decades for it to really have that effect. But it's the effect of what happened in the '60s is happening right now. Of what started in the
Yeah,
'60s
even further back, yeah. Because
is
the attack on the male in America, and I'm talking about the melanated male, started like the late 1800s.
uh,
Um, and it carried forth through the 40s, right? And this is when you're seeing most of your lynchings, your
yeah.
hangings, your picnics, all these things happen because that was an attack on the male, right?
Mhm.
Because they wanted to change the narrative of who we were. Because males, why do you think almost everybody in those pictures that you see that are being hung have suits on? Oh, they were strong
Mhm.
males. Why did they cut their genitalia off? Why did they put where they were eating their genitalia and stuffing the rest of it back into the victim's mouth? I mean, why were they doing these things? These are power moves. You're trying to emasculate the man, and they done it physically. Now they do it through media, and so now it's a digital emasculation.
Mm.
What's
All
up,
right,
Marvin?
Marvin. No. What's going on, Marvin? What's going on, Mr. Alex? All right, dude. God damn it, drone. You done did it now. No, because that makes it. No, because it makes you wonder where our culture has taken that part. Because I'm not saying it's by our own hands that we have put the woman, the black female, the black queen in the position that she has to rule. It's not by choice. It's by force. The
Right.
welfare system. Not saying that the women's feminine movement. Please don't take this wrong, but it has the effects of that alone has destroyed our culture. We're men talking.
I wouldn't say not by itself.
No. That's
I
fine.
wouldn't say. I wouldn't say not by itself.
But we see the effects of you taking.
There's a lot of mitigating factors.
But I mean, when you taking masculinity out of the equation, you took the protector who protects his family. Men loves their family. You know, men love their family, but when they get pulled away from it, it takes It takes hope away. If you're a man, if you're a man, now we have the question of what is a man? That's even up for question and up for debate with the generation of I don't want to be a man because being a man is too much. You know what I'm saying?
Says generation of I don't want to be a man.
I don't want to be a man no more. It's too much to be a man. So I want to. I don't want to take the second road. I want to take the easiest path. But you see what I'm saying. But now it's just that's why I
Yeah,
feel like our culture is in danger. Our culture is really being attacked in so many ways now that your kids we for one we don't really we know but we don't really know what is your kids being fed mentally, physically, emotionally, because we're everything is about feelings. A man or our culture has never been driven by feelings. We always been driven by respect and honor. That shit's gone. To the fact is, my feelings is important. You hurt my feelings. I didn't like what you said. A lot of people right now
oh,
is
absolutely.
going through they in their feelings right now, questioning,
Of course.
seeing two men, or they'd be like, "Well, why you don't have a female on your podcast?" Or why you don't have a person, or not saying, or say a person of opposite sex because that don't even mean nothing no more because we going into a way of
Yeah, yes,
we
it
confusing
does.
us.
Yeah, it means a lot.
So
Let me say this.
go ahead, because
Um,
I feel like
let
I'm
me
about
say
to
this.
cross. Oh, go ahead.
I, yeah, you about to cross some lines. Let me step in here for you cross them.
Hmm.
Um, here's some things about I think masculinity and femininity. We've we put it into a box, and we put labels on different things, and everything wants to be labeled. But with being when you have a family dynamic, it doesn't mean that I'm the man, so I'm in charge, right? It means that we have a shared power structure, but there's different responsibilities inside of the power structure, right?
Hmm.
Men have a responsibility, women have a certain responsibility, and it has nothing to do with intellect.
It's a balance.
It has everything to do with everybody has, I'm not saying gender roles, but there's a balance to the power structure, right? So
Hmm.
here's the thing, because you mentioned that men are protectors, right?
Yeah, you
Okay,
come in my
so
house,
let's
I'm
take it
trying to
from the
take your head off.
standpoints of being a bodyguard.
Hmm.
Well, listen, I'm not trying. We're
No, I
not going to
get you.
talk
Go ahead.
defense structures. Let me say this. So, if you have a bodyguard, right?
Hmm.
So, when you have a bodyguard, you have to trust that person with your life,
True.
correct? And you have to listen to that person when they give you instructions because they are the protector, correct?
Hmm.
So, just like Bill Gates may be an extremely intelligent man, he may be way smarter than his bodyguard, but he knows the role when they're out in the world that
Hmm.
he needs to follow the instructions of the bodyguard because the
Facts.
bodyguard knows how to protect
Hmm.
and he knows how to keep him safe. It's the same role or the same dynamic inside of submission only means to come into agreement with that. I see your plan makes sense. I'm gonna follow your plan.
Mhm.
That's your job. So I'm gonna go with you in what you say. So if the bodyguard tells you that's dangerous to go that way, then don't go that way. You follow the bodyguard. That's all protection is. Protection means you got somebody that was set in place that knows how to secure the family. You have to allow them to do that.
All right, you breaking up, Jerome. Or is it me? I hope it ain't me. Uh-oh. Come
You have
man,
to.
when we getting in good, you starting to act up.
Huh?
Yeah. You
It's starting to act
breaking
up.
up.
Yeah, it's acting up on my end too.
Dude,
But
you know when we getting in good when shit like this start.
I'm still breaking up.
No, but go ahead. You good now.
I know, right?
But you made a good point.
Yeah, but like I said, it's how the dynamic.
Mhm.
It's not we trip too much on we power trip too much.
Oh.
That's because we haven't discovered our own value. You see what I'm saying?
Respect.
If you knew your
It goes
value,
back to
then you wouldn't
respect.
power trip. You know
It
what I'm
goes
saying?
back to respect.
Exactly. Respect. You respect one another. You respect one another because you understand the value of each person in the relationship. You know what I'm saying? That's why we circle back around to value. Value is not taught in our community. So because you don't value yourself, you can't value somebody else. And if you two are not valuing each other, then y'all couldn't be valuing the community. That's how it works. It starts with you and builds up. So for me, the subculture is really killing us, man.
Okay. I mean, you
But I ain't gonna go ahead.
no,
I'm gonna
God
take
damn
it
it,
up.
Jerome, you did it. You can't balance. Life is a balance. You have your feminine energy, you have your masculine energy. It's balance. No matter what, the circle of life is balanced. The yin and the yang is balance. Positive, negative. It's always a balance. But you said something, the power struggle within self, the power struggle within the family. Everybody wants to be a leader now. Nobody is really I need to be in charge. And it's like you being in charge is for you. Is it benefiting the family, or is to show off to other people that you feel like you have a control over this and over that? Nobody falls in place. Everybody feel like they my voice have to be heard. My voice can be heard sitting in the background. My voice can be heard me just sitting back there not even saying shit. My voice is being heard when you drone is talking. Because if you know what level we on, Jerome don't even have to say much because we're connecting right now. We are connecting because we understand the balance of what things are and how things are in life. Now we have our culture is so unbalanced that everybody's looking for love or everybody's looking for somebody to like them. Like you said,
Right.
everybody's fighting for likes. And it's like, who do you want to like you? You want somebody, I gotta be social media driven.
Right.
I need to get a million likes. For what? What's the benefit? Because within you, that means within yourself, you need somebody to like you or love you that makes you feel love, but you can't love yourself. If we don't have but one person on this damn podcast listening to us, is the fact is me and you bonding, Me and you sitting there and have a general conversation. Me and you can have an intelligent conversation is enough for me. That I
Right.
don't need to have. We need to have 100 people. We need to have 100,000 people agreeing with us or liking what we're talking about. No, because everything is based on somebody else's opinion or somebody else's belief. Trust me, somebody's being offended.
Right.
We ain't even saying nothing crazy, but at
I
the
hope
same
so.
time, you
I
hope.
hope so. That makes you think.
But the point is, nobody thinking. Nobody fucking thinks no more. My computer, my damn phone can tell me everything I need to know. But at the same time, is AI
So
is
before we go on,
hey drone. Somebody Marvin asked you a question.
yeah, I'll get back to it. So what I'm talking about, Marv, is culture. The over when we started at the beginning, the over of culture. I was talking about the village mentality, or this mentality where we took care of each other, where we built each other. Same culture that the Chinese still use, the Mexicans use, any nationality that you want to bring up. You know, they have this overriding culture that the people mean more than anything. See, we don't have that. We're
Is
driven
there
by a
anything in the chat?
subculture. The subculture is, it's me, me, me. Look what I got. Look what I got. You ain't got it. You know, you know. I seen something. I guess it's maybe a month ago. Like Brian was talking about the club. There was people in the club seeing who could buy the most bottles and pour the champagne out. Um, that's just what? That's such a waste. And I'm like, you're paying $500-600 per bottle just to pour it out. You know, why?
For clout.
What does
Just for
that
clout.
show? That you're more wasteful than someone else? It's like a subculture, this subculture that has been implanted into our culture. And it's driven by the media, it's driven by music, it's driven by everything that we see. Um, and it's all to keep us from getting back to our traditional culture of taking care of the village. And what I said, when we took care of the village, we built Black Wall Street. When we took care of the village, we built all the major cities in the United States. Um, that's what I mean by subculture as opposed to our culture. These subcultures are what you're seeing in the rap genre today. Um, you know, I can't name the artist because I don't really look at it like that, but I see from afar, what they're teaching. You think that
Well, you got the questions coming.
I think it's promoted, and I think I'm not talking about individually, but I'm thinking about from a standpoint of where the community is going. I think we're
Is it
being
both?
driven by the younger, because younger people are always your future. And so that's who they target, and that's who this subculture is being pressed upon, is being the whole matrix is built to keep the young confused. Because even those young people, when they get older, will understand that they were inside of the matrix at some point. So if we can catch the young from going into the matrix, that's how we can change the culture back to where it's supposed to be. It's hard to respect our elders when our elders look like the young people, talk like the young people, move like the young people. So why should they respect you when you're doing the same things they're doing? You don't build in the community. So why you think that they should build in the community? And so they'd rather build themselves, which is like this endless circle of to nowhere because they have no guidance on how to build.
Oh, let's see. Let's see. Not Drone. Jeremy had a good question when he was talking about people do these things because they don't get that attention from childhood, which is true.
And that's
And
true.
this is
And
go
that's why
back
I
to
talk about.
but this is what I was saying about
I said,
the love
yeah,
aspect.
right,
The loving yourself. Loving yourself makes you love everybody around you. If you ain't got no love for nobody, you don't really fuck with them. And that's facts. If you don't respect somebody, you ain't gonna fuck around with them. But if you love somebody, you generally, if you just got love and that's love and respect of nature itself, everything else falls in place. It's a balance of life. It's like the circle of life. But the fact is, we thinking we allow other things to give us answers and tell us. Who tells us that we were slaves? Who told us that we African American? Who told us that we blacks all was here? Who's not telling us that our ancestors are from here? Who's telling us you have to go to school? If you don't go to school, you're gonna end up going to the alternative school. If you don't go to alternative school, you're gonna end up going to a juvenile school. If you don't go to a juvenile school, you're gonna end up in prison or you're gonna end up in jail. Your parents gonna end up in jail. So the indoctrination is so deep that you can't. It is the matrix. You can't disconnect it from it. But we don't never use the cheat code that we got. Nobody wants to teach our kids. Not no. I take that back. I take that back. I guarantee you the people that's on here would teach their kids who they true are, who they true self are. A lot
right,
of people can't because
right.
they don't. Because of the indoctrination of religion, um, the education system, the government, these experiments that they constantly doing to us on a daily basis. But our culture stays strong. Our culture, think about it, they've been trying to kill off this culture for years. They threw drugs at it. Drugs is like, okay, they still striving, they still pushing. All right then. Let me throw abortion out there. If these girls get pregnant, they can get rid of these kids. Oh shit, that backfired because our culture took it, and now our culture is on the deathbed of not even evolving anymore. So it goes to in a sense of we got to get our kids back. You said, what is the cheat code? I wish
Hey,
the cheat code is knowledge. Cheat code is reading. The cheat code is understanding self and understanding yourself. Then you want to put that out there. You slowly grab one person from another. Marvin, come on, man. You you gave me that cheat code. Jerome gave me that cheat code. You pass it along to the loved
hey,
ones that you love and you respect. You say, "Yo, I see something in that brother. Let me throw this little knowledge at him and watch it rock his world." And once he shakes his world up, you got that. We don't like to share
hey,
information. We don't like to share knowledge no more. Everybody wants to keep everything hidden.
right,
So
right.
that's why I say it's a cheat code by brothers becoming brothers. Right now, look what we're doing right now, y'all. We literally having a general conversation. We having a cheat code moment because
Hey,
we can
can I
share
let me?
knowledge.
Can I throw
Go ahead.
something at you?
Yeah, my bad.
Can
I'm
I throw
preaching. I'm preaching because I
No, no,
gotta
no.
get
You
it.
good? No,
But go ahead, man. Go ahead.
you in your bag. You in your bag, baby. It's funny because you mentioned the youth, right? And I said that the Matrix, has to grab the youth early, right?
Yeah.
Um, I was thinking about the movie. You remember when uh, Morpheus took Neo to see the Oracle, right?
Facts. First time.
And all those that had the potential to control the matrix with children,
Facts.
right? And they were seeing if they were the one, they were the one, they were the one. He was an adult, right? So he was sitting there. He was sitting there with with that child, and the child said he held up the spoon, and he made the spoon bend back and forth, right?
Facts.
And Neo was like, "Wow." He's like, "How do you do that? You know, how are you doing that?" And this line sticks with me. It stuck with me for God. That's been what 99 since that came out.
Mhm.
He said, what you have to realize is there is no spoon. So what I was saying, there is nobody controlling us. We have been tricked into thinking somebody is controlling us.
Mm.
Our actions are our own. We do them because we choose to do them. Yes, all this information was laid out in front of us from them, but we're still choosing to do it. It's like, and I always tell the story of Harry Houdini, who was a great escape artist. He would escape from anything, and they had put a simple cage, and he was inside of it. He tried to get out of this cage for like 8 hours, and he could not. Then he leaned on the door, and the door swung wide open. The thing was, he was inside the cage mentally, but the door was never locked.
Mm.
And it's just like us, we're inside this mental cage,
Mhm.
slavery, poverty, um, illiteracy,
Mm.
bad fathers. Uh, all these are things, these are empty cages that we're just sitting inside of because why we believe they're true. All we have to do is walk outside the cage and live the real life. Families together, families building, communities building. All we have to do is do it. There is no spoon. We're not
Mm.
inside of a matrix. You've been tricked to believe you are. That's what makes it so strong because it's only in your mind. And because
In
you
other,
believe it, it makes it true.
in other words, you give more respect. You give more power and respect to something that it's not really controlling you, but you make it control you.
It's not. It's not. Can I show you something?
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
crazy.
Say no.
So, so we talk about, our condition, right?
Mhm.
We have in spending $1.1 trillion of spending. So that means if we were on a scale of to be a country in this world, we'd be the number 16th country in the world
Okay.
just by our spending, right?
Mhm.
So you're the 16th country inside of the world's best country,
Mhm.
but you don't use your resources to change your condition. You only use your resources to look better. You only use your resources to help them stay strong. You only use your
Mm.
resources to make the rich who want to keep you poor richer. You don't use your own resources to free yourself. You're sitting inside this cage complaining when the door is wide open. So if we took this $1.1 trillion of resource or spendable resources to spend it on ourselves, not in the manner of I'm not personally buying
Yeah, go ahead.
Jordans, buying
Go
Gucci,
ahead. See,
buying.
you knew you was gonna do that, man. Leave me and mine's alone.
No, I had to say because that's one of the most relatable things. They're about to drop this weekend.
I'm
But
I'm not I'm not
so I'm
deep into
saying,
it, like, but I feel where you're coming from because we
so
spend our
I know
money.
you're not, but I'm saying from who we're talking to though, you know. So I'm saying from that standpoint, if we took that $1.1 trillion, this is yearly, bruh. So you talking about in the last 5 years, over $5 trillion we've wasted on just buying things. You don't
That has
even
no value.
take out your pen or your pencil, whatever y'all taking notes with, and write down 5 trillion. Write the number 5 trillion and look at how incredible that number is. But we don't take those resources to change our lives. And when I say our, I'm talking about the whole community. We talk about we want reparations. Man, we spend reparations every year. To do what? So if you're saying you got extra money, what was you gonna do anyway? You don't even spend the money that you make on the correct things. If every household in America that's melanated would spend just $100,000 a month to the freedom of our people, imagine where we would be in 5 years.
We'd be able to change legislation. We'd be able to set up and make our own laws. We would be able to make put our kids in a better, safer environment of understanding. Because it goes back to the knowledge barrier that we don't. If your father don't know nothing, you're not gonna know nothing. Or if your family don't know nothing, you got to break the cycle has to be broken because illiteracy is big. They
Right,
don't want you to read. And now
right.
we starting to see things to the fact is I know we got a bunch of comments coming in. I'm trying to but we have an incident we have a problem when now history is being erased or history is not being taught. History is supposed to be about love and respect, especially in this country. When we knowing it's nothing but just pure hatred. Our history is ugly. Our history of this country is not true, but they don't like to show the beauty. They don't want to show the beauty of our people and what they have achieved on barely nothing. Is love. Like you said, $1 trillion. That is what Wall Street was because they kept that within the community. The respect level within oneself that you don't have to be, you're my next door neighbor, and I don't have to outshine you. You're my next door neighbor.
That's
Yo,
tangible, man.
you know what I'm saying?
What's up,
It's
D?
it's it,
Um,
yo, what's up,
it's
Willa?
got a few. There's a few things I want to answer on here, B.
Go ahead.
Um, Marvin got one where he asked us both a question. Do do you believe that we actually have black communities in America and Central America? Yeah. Um, you wanna go first?
Do I believe we have friends in America and Central America? Indigenous, yes. Blacks, because you gotta understand, black has taken a life of his own. Black community is nowhere else in the world. You might go to say London and see, but it's our everybody watches us. Everybody in other countries want to be what we are. Everybody want our swag. This is for the young people. Or want to see they like our style, they like the way we coach, they like the way we move. They see us and we're literally educating people in real life. We are a reality show for the world. So if you was, I say for what? You take us and give us a place in Central America of these war torn countries that our government has destroyed and did, we would strive. Leave us the fuck alone. Put us somewhere, leave us alone. We could strive. We could build our own communities. Now, have our communities color wise been whitewashed out? Yes. Has the Inquisition, like the Spanish Inquisition, destroyed our communities, that was in Central America and South America, yes, because they were our complexion, they were our melanin color. But when you started
They
blending
still
and
are.
blending with things, yeah, but I mean, but those are not the faces you see because you can watch Telemundo. They are not putting the prettiest. They're only putting the prettiest ones up there. But guarantee you, if you go to any
Whoa,
other
whoa,
country,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
what?
Not the prettiest one. They're putting
My
the
bad.
lightest ones.
The lightest ones. My bad. The lightest one. My bad. The lightest ones. We have been taught.
Well, let me
Look at it. But as I'm saying, we've been taught that black is ugly, being dark is ugly.
right. Let me get in on that question before you continue
Go
to
ahead.
preach.
My bad. Because my bad. I'm go ahead. Go ahead, John. You answer. You
No,
answer
no,
your
no.
side. You answer your side.
Okay. So I think black community, no. Community, yes. I believe we have community. It's not a good one. It's not a strong one. It's not a unified one, but we do have community. If we didn't have community, they wouldn't know who to attack. They wouldn't know who to promote to. They wouldn't know who to drive the media at if we didn't have community. Um, I think you'll like this one, B.
Go ahead.
D. Will. I think you'll like this one too. Is that yes, all around the world they look to America, the indigenous America, to see what the next move is. They look to us to see what's the standard of culture now, right? Not saying that it's good, but they're looking. Here's the thing: we're not poor. We're just broke.
Broke in.
I'm gonna say that one more time.
Mm-hmm.
We're not poor. We're just broke. And what I mean by broke is a mentality.
Facts.
Broke is, like I said, going to the club, buying 18 $600 bottles of champagne just to pour them on the floor. That's a broke mentality. Uh, not having any investments. That's a broke mentality. Not teaching your children how to invest. That's a broke mentality. Not coming together as a community and building resources to lift the community. That's a broke mentality. We're not poor. $1.1 trillion, but we sure are broke.
Don't forget, we're 13%.
So yeah,
That's a
13% of America. But yet with
bullshit.
we have $1.1 trillion. Now, if most of the black men are in jail, not with their baby mamas, somebody is working. Because that 1.1 trillion is not just coming out the air.
True.
So like I said, there is no spoon. When you hear the media talking, when you see things on TV about us, you ought to know there is no spoon.
Damn. Oh my god, that's deep.
Wow.
Because no, but it makes perfect sense because we keep looking for. We have to get out of the color scheme. We have to get out of the race issue when it comes to our people because we have cousins abroad. We have cousins everywhere.
Colorism is bigger than racism.
And we use that.
Colorism is bigger than racism, B.
Facts. And I'm a perfect example because of me being a black country ass American, because I'm country because of South Carolina. D. Will, you know how we grew up, you know where we come from. And being to the fact is, and you know what, Marvin, I'm jealous because you went to Germany. You just went to Greece and you didn't say nothing, man. I'm mad at you, bro. I'm mad at you. I would have loved to went. I would have loved to go there. But I understand that you do that. And that's lovely seeing people travel. Our people don't travel. Our people don't go out and see other coaches, and if you go out and see other coaches, to come back and it'll make you respect your culture even more. We always want to be a part of something else
Or
other than being a part
want
of
to
ourselves.
change it.
Huh? Say again?
I said, or want to change it. I said, or want to change it.
Yeah, because now I'm part of a Caribbean culture. I'm part of a Haitian culture. I understand the Haitian culture. I respect the Haitian culture. I apply that into my culture that I have because yes, we might be from different continents or different areas, but respect is respect. Understanding is long as you if you this is what I tell my coworkers when I go to Italy. Don't come here thinking you're an American. And people will be like, why? Because your mentality is so dangerous that everybody in the world hates it. Because you don't think, you just thinking, oh, because this is what I do here in America, I can do that there. Fuck around and find out. You'll fuck around and find out easy. Because that's what happens. And that's why a lot of people look at us Americans because we're cocky. We cocky and don't even have nothing to stand on. We're cocky because we thinking that we run the world, or I'm coming here to help you. I'm coming to your country. You should be proud that even embracing your country. No, no, nigga. You. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. Me being in Italy and watching families walk around together. I see the mother, I see the father, I see the kids. They go into places, they eating together. They doing things together. That's beautiful. That's family. Everybody eats, and it's like 20 or 30 people eating together. They celebrating together. It's no drama. Dude, I went to a country and didn't see no arguments, no fights, no nothing. And we in crowds. Everybody is enjoying life. We're the only people in in this world who hates life. This country. Everybody got to realize, dude, we under a different version of slavery, and we just don't know it because yeah, we work to survive. Everybody outside of America enjoys life. They just work to pay whatever bills you need to pay. But family comes first. Not me come first. My family comes first. Y'all my family. I respect enough that I can actually, if you call me and say, yo, I need you, I got you. If you're my family, if you're in my circle, if you somebody that I respect, it goes back to that respect and that love. I respect you enough and I love you enough that I'm gonna try to do whatever I can to help you. If you're falling on hard times or you going through a situation or you just need somebody to listen to. Jerome is there for me when I call when I'm going through whatever I go through my mental thing. I'll call Jerome. Hell, half the time Jerome will call me and be like, yo, I ain't heard from you in a while. Damn. He feeling me right now. He knows that something's going on. Because it's a norm. And when you connect it to your brothers, you know when they're going through something. You just know, yo, I need to holler at my boy. I ain't talked to him in a minute. You know what I'm saying? I see
Right.
my family doing good. That's why I say my boy Marvin, him and his wife and they're in Greece, And I'm like, damn, I want to do that. I want to take my way somewhere. But no, because it makes you love and because you see a family together. You don't. I don't want to say, hey, we got to do a man's trip. Yeah, you do a man's trip, but yeah, but at the same time, if you do that trip with your male friends, you got to make sure you got to do your trip with your family too.
That's right.
That's so it goes back to respect. Nobody respects shit. Our culture doesn't respect nothing, and that's why I feel like our culture is not a culture. We're just a fad. It's just fading. So the fact is, we don't even know what the hell we are. Do I? Because I mean, I say I'm black just because it eliminates some of the stupid, people. But I would say I'm an indigenous American in a heartbeat, and it stuns them. What do you mean, you and me? My people from here. I'm from South Carolina. I can tell you I can tell you within my area, within the 30 radius, what tribes was there, what tribes thrived in which counties and which cities. Everybody said they Cherokee got it. We Chippewa, Chickasaw, we Blackfoot. We got a little bit of everything in it. We got a little bit of it's so much respect. Once you respect the level of nature, everything else falls in place. Yes, we are complex. We are, but we still surviving. We're
I
still
think
striving.
I think too.
But go ahead.
I think what D put on there, patterns are powerful, and that's extremely true. That's why they rhythmically give you everything that you see on TV, the media, the music. Everything has a pattern or rhythm to it, just like your heartbeat, just like you breathe, just like you think. And they constantly bombard you with these things because you will make it a habit in your mind when you see it all the time, even if it's wrong. But seeing it all the time, it's almost like how people numb you to violence, right? They just show you violence all the time. And so it becomes, part of your normal routine. Doesn't make it correct, but it is normal. So how you spend, is a pattern. People have spending patterns. If you look across our community, why do we all spend the same way? That shows you that we had to be programmed. We're consumers only now. We didn't used to be, but now we're consumers only. That's why that $1.1 trillion is just all consumption, and it's not building, it's not growth, it's not
Hmm.
movement. Yes, we've been trained extremely well. Um, we've been trained on how our families are built. We've been trained on how we look at one another from man to woman. There's training going on all the time, but because we don't have the um, discipline to train each other on how things are correct and to mentor one another, once we have the discipline, those that are disciplined to mentor those and to pass it down. So you talked about um, we missing generational wealth, right? But generational wealth is just not money. Generational wealth is information, is knowledge. Those are the things that we need to pass down. The most valuable thing on this earth is information.
Facts.
I can give you $1 million, or I can give you the secret to making $1 million every year.
Hmm.
Which one do you think is more powerful?
But it also is we don't even love our women. We don't love our queens. We don't put our
So we
princesses
don't love ourselves then.
and we don't put our princesses or prince in good situations of understanding what love is, especially if they go in a if they're going through if you're watching your family go through fights, 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 that's all you know. You go to school, your kids is always seeing fights, fights, fights. It's always violence. On TV, it's violence. But nobody sits around and hugs their children. Get off of me. Get the fuck off of me. But kids want to be loved. And if you love your kids, you around your kids. I don't say you even have to be with the mother. But at the same time, you still got to show her if it's respect, mutual respect between y'all two. Watch that kid strive. But if you see strife between the parents, it's gonna that's scarring that child. That's scarring that next generation. And that generation pushes themselves to be part of something other than what they need to be. This is where the cheat code comes into the effect. It's not really a saying a cheat code, but it's actually knowledge to self, love, knowledge between one another. You share information, you sharing the knowledge. Because a lot of people out here are so lost, they looking for something. Our community is lost. Hell, we don't even know what the hell to call ourselves. What we call ourselves? Oh, I'm black.
Whatever
I'm black.
the government tells you you are.
And the last one is still don't make no damn sense. African American, African American,
I
but you
mean,
don't
you
see
accepted that.
no of the culture
They
mixed
had
with
they had
that.
Jesse Jackson float that out there. You accepted it and you ran with that. You know, that's something I don't know where they came from, but I mean I know where it came from, but as far as like they didn't even have to push it upon us. We were so lost for identity that once we heard that, we grabbed it and gravitated to it. Yeah, D. Will, that is absolutely correct. I don't know when
I
you came
started
in.
off this show with that, damn it, because they
Right, that's what I
showed
said. I don't know where you was at, but yeah, that's where we
go if
started
we
with it.
in the
But
beginning. That's what we did. We I said we go back. I actually said we go back to the 20s. Marvin, I mean Jerome was like, "No, fuck that. We go way back to the late 1900s, 1800s,
right,
1800s."
right, 1800.
We when the family structure was so tight, you couldn't break it apart. Think about these slavery. Think about the slavery movements when you broke that family up. How much you damaged and how strong that love was that you would. You know what? Sometimes the males have to sacrifice. Yo, I would die if you don't separate my family. If the clan felt like they had to go and try to break up families, it makes you understand how important and how dangerous if a family's together
Hey,
is
B,
yeah.
I don't know how much time we got. I got 2 points though. I want to get out.
Go for it. Go for it. Hey,
All
don't stop.
right,
Go ahead.
one you was talking about slave, right? And you say, who told us we were slaves, right? Why is that slave or the slave mentality was pushed upon us, right? See, here's
Facts.
the thing. Here's the thing. There wasn't that many slaves in the United States.
Uh
What I
oh.
mean by that, a slave is one that has given themselves over to a master. You know, if you are continuously fighting, if you are continuously having to be chained, if you are continuously running, if you are continuously revolting, then you're not a slave. You've been put into position as a prisoner of war, but you're not a slave. A slave is only that person that has submitted. Yes, sir. I get that for you, sir. Let me do that for you, sir. You know, that's a person that has a slave mentality. You can only be a slave in your mind because you have given away your power. But if you're being put in chains, doesn't make you a slave, especially when you have to have them chains on or you would do something that changes your situation.
Mm.
So that's one point. The other point uh, is that I hear this all the time, and I don't speak to people on it because we need inspiration from anywhere that it can come from. But I always hear people say kings and queens, right? And they
Facts.
say, you know, we're all kings, we're all queens, but that doesn't make any sense.
Uh
How would
oh.
your system how would your system work if everybody is the king? How would your system work if everybody is the queen? There has to be, if you're going to be a king or a queen, then there has to be a monarchy. that means that there had to be an order of how people are set up. So if he's a young king, well, then if he's a young king, then he has nobody over him. He has nobody to show him the way because he's the king. King make the rules. Kings make the decisions. Queens make the decisions. So if you have a young king and a young queen, who is over them guiding them? Who showed them the structure of what a monarchy is supposed to run like? You know,
Oh,
if you have uh, 1,000 kings and 1,000 queens, then you have no nation.
mm,
So that's the point of it's all wordplay. They know you don't really, because you don't have an identity. I can throw a word like king out, and because you don't believe in yourself or didn't believe in yourself prior to that, when you hear king, oh, I'm a king, I'm gonna take that. But then look at your life. You don't manage yourself like a king. You don't live like a king. You don't set standards like a king. A king
oh,
sets standards. King is not just out here doing whatever, running here, there, this woman, that woman. A king has a standard. Why? Because the whole kingdom has to live to the standard of the king. So we take these words and we just throw them out there willy-nilly because we don't understand language. The slave language of English is so confusing to our black minds that it
mhm.
keeps us locked up and it keeps us in this imaginary cage because we don't understand words. Then they
It's like
took
a
that
squirrel.
words and mixed those. Then they mixed the words with religion, and you was done.
Mhm.
You was done. But
Man, why you throw religion in? Come on, man. You
no,
know I
this
did none of that.
that's that's just the word. Told you I had 2 points, but
I know.
but but when you mix words with and you have such a blunt object that's like religion,
Facts.
that's why we stay in slavery mentally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how let me ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're all kings, right? Or kings or queens, that means somebody had the country, somebody had the city, somebody had the kingdom. Who turned it over to you? So why would you turn a slave-minded person that calls themselves a king? Why would you turn anything over to them? You're a slave that calls himself a king. Look how confused you are.
I mean,
Why would I turn anything over to you?
no. Not everybody can be that. Just get that shit out the way. Not everybody can be kings or queens.
That's what we call everybody.
I would
What's up,
call
king? What's up,
if
queen?
you yeah, but if you at that level of understanding, is it goes back to the respect level because because what's higher than a king? You know, what
God.
if you no. Then the reason why no when I say that is if I look at my wife as that queen, because that means everybody respects her, everybody's look highly of her, everybody loves that person that she is. But I treat her like she's well, I'm
Well,
about
let
to
me say this then. You might
what I
need to
mean
study it.
it's a play on
Listen,
word.
listen, I got that, and that's what I'm saying. That's what confuses us is these
Okay,
play on words.
I got you.
Everybody doesn't have the same mentality, so we can't
Facts.
teach it like that. So
Okay.
if you study history, if you study history,
Hmm.
kings and queens, their relationships were terrible. You tell me one good one. Look through history.
I can tell you one good one,
What?
but they dominate. They what their relationship did literally controlled the world.
Who?
King Ferdinand and Queen
About
Elizabeth.
Ferdinand and Isabel. They didn't love each other. You need to
No,
study.
they know when I say they didn't love each other, but that relationship of being kings and queens started a movement that still has the effects of today. But I
Right.
understand what
And
you're saying.
those were power movements. They were put together for
But
power
actually,
reasons.
but you only looking at kings and queens coming from a European perspective. If we go by kings and queens when it comes to indigenous and also African, you look at it in a different way.
I
You would
got
have
you.
to look at it a different
I
way.
got you. And I
But I
see,
mean,
I see my brother put Mansa Musa, which
I'm about to say that's what I'm.
well,
No, and
which
that's
was
what I'm
one of our
saying. It
which was
depends
one
on
of
what
our
culture.
staples, which
It's
was
one of
one
your
of our
culture.
staples in the Mali culture, right? But see,
True.
what a lot of people don't understand of even about Mansa Musa, his brother was actually the one that was running and established the country. He left and came to South America. A lot of people call him Montezuma. They just don't, they don't study enough to understand who they were. He was the mariner king. He was always on the sea. Mansa Musa was a good brother. I ain't taking nothing away from him, but his standard wasn't his standard. It was actually his brother's standard. Mansa Musa, got caught up in religion. That's why he pilgrimaged to Mecca. And that's why he gave all that gold away when he was in Egypt. And they stopped him from giving money away because he changed the economic situation of the people in Egypt, right? So even him as a king, some of the moves that he made wasn't king-like. I ain't taking away from who he is. Yes, he was the richest man on this earth. I give you that. But see, actions tell a lot about great men are always going to be portrayed as great when you look at history. But you got to study their actions to understand who they are or who they were, right? And I'm not saying that any of these African kings wasn't great men or didn't have great relationships. But what I'm saying is they were kings nonetheless. They didn't have just one wives. But if you want to talk about kings, tell me some North American kings then, since we study so much. Tell me some North American kings. Do you know your history that deep? Or do you just know what they've told you?
Oh, God damn it, Jerome. I'm signing off. Fuck this shit. Why you
But
had
I
to go
mean,
that route, man? Why you had to go there? Why we got to go that deep? Why
we
you
hadn't
got?
been on in a minute.
Yeah, but
I get pent up sometimes.
yeah, but you just slapped us in the face. Come on.
And I, like I said, I just
But
want
they're not
us
going to
to
study
be
that
on the
history.
level where we
But I tell
understand
you
what
what.
we're saying.
But I get what you're saying. I'm about to hit you back.
Okay.
Why would you teach us that history? Because if you teach that history, we'll know who we truly are, and we empower ourselves to be even bigger and stronger. So the fact is, if you know where your blood comes from, if you know where your stock is, if you know your history, that's why history is so important. If you know what your history is, nobody can tell you who you are not. Nobody can tell you, nobody can move you off that pedestal. You can go to
Right.
school with confidence and you're going to school understanding. You can go into school and that teacher looking at you in fear because she was like, I know this person is going I know what he's standing on and I can't rock him off of it.
Okay.
Knowing our history is so dangerous
Let
and
me
it's
ask you
so
a question
powerful.
then.
Go for it.
Let me ask you a question then. So you're telling me about African kings, which is true. History was
Hey,
powerful.
I tell you, but I mean, no,
No,
it
listen,
was
listen. No, listen to what I'm saying. So
uh-huh.
you're African American then, right?
I didn't say that
That's
shit. Where
what
the fuck you get it from?
you telling me about their history, about
I
African
didn't tell
history.
you. Wait a minute. I didn't say shit about Africa. I was saying when you say kings and say kings, I was like, you was looking at it from a European persona.
I
And I
never
was
look
like,
at it from a
no, but I'm
European side
saying
now.
in African history, you hear it differently, you see it differently, it has a different taste to it. Now, when you say
True.
what's a North American king, every king that you see probably got, you know, mm, they was betrayed because it was infiltrated. It was think about it. Look at our black leaders now. Look at the black leaderships that we have seen. They always get infiltrated, and then somebody always stabbing them in the back because that next person wants to be a king. God damn it. That's why I hate you, Jerome.
They have
But
no
when it comes
value
to
within self.
but going back to the history level, that's what we want to do. That's what we need to do. But
Ooh,
this
right.
country, this 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 nation that we joined, when we did do the 13th Amendment, is not going to let know about that history. Think about this whole damn
It's true.
American history.
Hey, put
Doesn't
that up.
know, huh?
Put that up what D just said about Mayan history.
Yes, that is. It is. Mayan history always will be our history. But oh boy, god
Hey,
damn it.
the
We
Mayans
don't hit that.
disappeared, right?
They
Hey, listen.
disappeared, not understanding why they
No, listen,
disappeared.
listen. The Mayans disappeared, but the largest Mayan excavation, is in Georgia. So,
Mm.
so they disappeared.
They didn't
These
disappear.
Georgians, these
They
black
didn't
people,
disappear.
black people in America. Come on, man. They done changed your name so many times that we don't know. We think that the story of the Nile is the story of the Nile instead of being the story of the Mississippi. Memphis has never changed its place. Memphis has always been here, but that's another story.
That's the next
I
story.
digress. I digress.
All right, y'all. We actually, oh man, we almost hitting 2 hours. 2 hours. All right, fellas. Knowledge. God damn it. See, now we can't get off. Knowing is knowing where. And it's facts. But we got to get off, man, because that damn it, we've been on here for another hour, man. I
Well,
appreciate. You know what, and this is something that we haven't been on for a while, and for us to come on and be this powerful, and I appreciate you, brothers, coming on. I appreciate the people that's listening. Please share.
yeah,
These guys done been on our podcast.
yeah.
Jerome, I mean Wheeler. I like Wheeler. I like that fire. Marvin, I love that fire. Mr. Samuel, we're gonna have to get you on one day. We keep inviting you. You gotta join, but I like the fellowship. I love this fellowship because it gives you a purpose and it drives you to push because that's brotherhood does. It makes you become a tribe and then you protect everybody that's around you. It makes you stronger. It makes you more confident in within who you are. If nobody's believing, because if nobody believes in you, if your brotherhood believes in you, then what else? Where else would you be then? Why would you think any less than what that is? So, I appreciate y'all coming on. I appreciate people listening. I appreciate this is therapy for me. Um, and I love every one of y'all. I respect one of y'all, and then we're gonna keep it building. We're not gonna. Is one thing I did tell Drone I wanted to say. Fuck this political shit. This Democrat Republican. It doesn't build. Neither one is helping us as a community. If it is, they'll find a way to tear it down. So neither one of them. They are from the same. What's the word? They basically from the same branch. It's from the same tree, which is a different branch. That regardless, that'll make you give you the illusion that we're one is helping the other, and neither one of them don't give two shits about us. So on this podcast, unless we have to talk about it, we don't want to talk about no more political stuff, yo. If it ain't building, that don't build us. that divides us as a people.
What's up, Eric?
What's going on, Eric? So I just want to say again, appreciate you, love you, share, love, share, you know, and let's keep building. Let's keep building. Let's keep this shit going. Hey, if you I mean, we're supposed to be on yesterday. We supposed to did our, a Sunday brunch, but we're gonna get back on our Sunday brunch. But fuck it, we have Monday Madness. So, um, like, love, respect one another, love yourself. Don't ever look in the mirror and say I love you, and don't be afraid that it said I love you back, because you got to love yourself before you love anything else. So that's my last words. Go ahead, talk to me, Jerome. Let us go. Bring us to a closing, my brother.
All right. First of all, I want to say that I love all of our melanated people around the world. No matter what continent that you find yourself on right now, self-love is first the key. You have to love yourself and understand yourself, and that if you can love someone that looks like you, that someone that looks like you can love you too. So history is a key component to going forward. Understanding who you were will hold you to a standard of where you need to get to. So that's why we push history so much on this podcast, why we push self-love so much on this podcast, why we love the interaction with our brothers and sisters that come on. So keep holding us up, man. Keep strengthening us. Hopefully we can keep doing this for a long time. I do miss Brother B. We hadn't been together for a minute. So this was really good, really good for the soul, really good for the mind. But if there's one thing that I can say to everybody out here, is keep pushing forward. We're going to win. You know what I'm saying? And we win together. That's it. That's all I got for tonight.
Just like them Eagles gonna win against them Cowboys. Have to slap it down.
See, okay. I mean, you could always hope. Keep hope alive. What's that? 9-2, but it's not 9-2.
Oh, shots fired! You
No,
trying to
it's
say you gonna
8-3.
take another L? All right, bet.
It's 8-3. Dak is 8-3 against y'all.
The fact is, he got lost.
we can get it to 9 though. We can do that for y'all.
Okay. All right, fellas. Again, this is a Three-Headed Monster podcast. Peace.
Peace, y'all.